Hello gamers, this is King Grunt and Shoji. We play a lot of Halo. If you guys have already seen us on there, we are awesome, just not that awesome. Today we are here to talk about Halo 4 and summarizing what we know, and we're going to talk about a lot of the things that they've changed and also added into the new series that they're coming up with. First off, what we'd want to talk about is, of course, what a lot of people should already know, is that they are bringing back a lot of the same weapons that have already been played throughout the previous games. A lot of the things that they're doing with this one is quite different from what they've done with every other game. What would you say, Jess?
Yeah, I noticed there were quite a few things that were different about this. Firstly, they did have loadouts in Halo Reach, but in this one, you're actually able to have customized loadouts, and the other one, it was more you were able to select your abilities. Now you can actually select which weapon you want to start with, and the next thing that we are going to talk about is some of the armor abilities as we know them right now. Let's start with thruster packs. Thruster packs is a lot like Evade, pretty much. The only real difference between this and the other one is, I think someone mentioned you can only use thruster packs. It's one boost, but I'm not sure on that one. And when you evaded, you kind of did like a dive, and you were harder to hit. When they're actually thruster packing now, yeah, they're still standing up straight. Someone also mentioned you go into third person, so you can control where you go better with the thruster pack.
But I do want to talk about Promethean Vision. I really don't think that it's necessary in Halo 4, just because you kind of already have radar, and it does destroy the whole principle of radar, just because you can see through walls. You know, of course, everybody already knows that, you know, radar covers over 25 meters in Promethean Vision. I'm not sure how far it covers, but
it's the whole. It kind of like it. What it kind of looked like to me, it reminded me kind of like sonar, where like it kind of sent a wave out, but once it hit that person, you could consistently see them and watch them move around. I think there are ways they could make Promethean Vision work if they made it more like a radar, where you can only see a moving target. I think that might be a way they could do it. Another thing that they might be able to do to fix it, as opposed to just completely get rid of it, would be make it so, as I mentioned, it was more of a consistent thing. If it was just a wave and you got a quick glimpse of it and you didn't see non-moving targets, I still wouldn't like it, but it would be much more playable, and I would not have as much of a gripe with it. I just think that it seems like another thing is that it seemed like you could spam it, and I think they did mention in the final version they're going to make it not last as long, and they were going to make the timer for it to charge a lot slower. So it sounds like they are going to nerf it a little bit, and that does sound good. Next, we have the Hard Light Shield. The Hard Light Shield looks a lot like a Riot Shield. It is a timer-based thing. It has no amount of damage will make it disappear, but it cannot stop vehicles. Anything like that?
Yeah, to me, it kind of looked like a nerf version of Armor Lock.
Yeah, pretty much you can throw nades around the shield, or if the person's surrounded, they're still going to die. It wasn't like Armor Lock, but they were totally impervious to all damage, which was really annoying.
Yeah, it was.
Next thing we're going to talk about is the, they have mentioned that they're going to bring active camo back as an armor ability. We didn't really see it in E3. I don't even think they had it in the E3 build. I'm just assuming it's going to be like Halo Reach. I kind of liked it better in Power Up form, but if it's there, you know, it's there.
It's there.
Next thing is the holograms. Holograms in the E3 build, they looked exactly like the Reach holograms, and they were pretty much just, they mentioned that they might try to make them smarter, like make them walk around structures and walk around corners. But I do not know if that is confirmed or not. But if that's true, holograms could actually have a use. The next perk, how the game is becoming more Call of Duty-esque.
Yeah, for a lot of people who hate the fact that we're going to talk about this, you might as well just stop now. But we are going to pretty much kind of go into a short rant. Halo 4 is becoming a lot like Call of Duty just because of the perk system and kind of minor things that we've already talked about. I mean, you do got the loadouts, you do got the abilities. But the fact that you can now change your weapon will have add-ons, you can change different things on it. I'm not entirely sure what it is, but we do know what the perks are and pretty much what they do. The first perk that they've mentioned was Firepower, and that's where you can pretty much have two primary weapons at the same time when you respawn, pretty much. It's like a loadout. You do get to have grenades also. But the Firepower one doesn't really change anything other than that. It's just a perk you get later on by doing the leveling up system, which we're going to talk about a little bit later.
I think they mentioned there was like Halo points or something like that.
Yeah, some type of Halo points. I guess it's going to bump in the way of credit system, which is on Reach. But they have another one, which is a perk. It's probably the stupidest perk there is, but apparently you need a perk to randomly pick up grenades. I mean,
Yes, you after
oh man,
after 11 years of headshots, the Spartan's brain hasn't been responding properly. So the
Yeah.
doctors are going to fix it, but they're going to sell you it in the form of a perk.
yeah,
So,
I think Master Chief after 11 years kind of forgot how to pick up grenades. I think he was in cryo.
16,
Yeah,
something like
I think he
that.
was in cryo tube for too long. I mean, it really screwed him up. But yeah, I mean, honestly, me and Shoji both agree. Just throw that one out. It should just be a given thing, like it always has been.
Yeah, it's been like that in every other game. I don't see why they would change it now. That's my real big complaint with it. But the next thing that we mentioned that we noticed is I believe they had one where your armor abilities could last longer. We didn't see a lot of this in E3. A lot of people weren't really using it, but I don't like the idea of you being able to spam armor abilities. You know, like, it already looked like Promethean Vision could be spammed, and, you know, I don't see what the point of them nerfing it is if you can just spam it some more with a perk. That seems kind of
That's
pointless.
ridiculous.
We noticed, and these are separated into 4 of them are in one category and 4 of them are in another category. Admittedly, we do not know which one is in which category. But the next one was it was a sensor one, and what it essentially did is it extended your radar out so far. I'm probably going to guess. I think it's 25 meters right now. I would probably assume that it's probably going to go out to 35 meters. And that isn't too big of a problem. The thing that I had a problem with is now you can see stationary targets and just make, you know, it goes in the same thing as Promethean Vision. It just makes it that much harder to sneak up on someone. The next thing we're going to talk about is increase the amount of ammo you get in your startup weapons and ordnance drops. I heard that it increases it, pardon me, it increases it in the clip as well. If it's just general ammo, like you get more clips, I'm not really bothered by that, because especially, you know, in like playlists like Team Bears anyway, whenever you kill the guy, you stole his ammo, so you never read it out. But if there's more in a clip, that could be an unfair advantage, because you could, you know,
if somebody
your opponent could run out of ammo and you could still have ammo.
You know, I mean, like for all those people that played, you know, Halo Reach, whenever you would die when reloading, some people that have that perk, they won't really have that problem, because you will most likely die before the other person because they have a bigger clip than you. You're completely aware of everyone, pretty much, if you have both those abilities or perks.
The next one I'm going to talk about is, I believe there was one that, just quickly graze over it. It was Unlimited Sprint. I heard that one was pretty popular at E3.
I really do like the fact that they kind of made it to where it actually slows down the person running. It does make it easier to kill. I don't know about other people that actually use sprint a lot and think it's kind of shitty. You guys can put your own input there in the comments below. But to me, I think it's actually kind of a balanced way of putting it.
Yeah, as someone who uses sprint all the time, I have no problem with it. You know, it doesn't benefit me personally. I think it's an all-around better for the game to make it like that.
Oh yeah.
The next one, I believe, is that you could, when you're zoomed in on your scope, you can see your radar. This one doesn't seem particularly useful as a whole. Like, it's kind of nice in your DMR fights. This seems really, really useful when you're sniping. This is when I can really see this being useful. I can't count the amount of times I've snuck up on snipers and been able to assassinate them, or be assassinated myself when I am sniping. So, anything you like to say?
I really don't really mind that perk altogether, really, because there's been a lot of times I wish I did have my radar when I'm actually zoomed in, because I want to be aware of what's around me. But again, the fact that they already got 3 things that make you pretty much aware of what's around you already, with the perk of, you know, having a bigger radar, Promethean Vision, and now the radar where you can actually be scoped in. I mean, I don't know, it's like they're trying to make it seem where you constantly know where people are, so it doesn't really make it fair in that sense. It totally destroys the whole point of being able to sneak up on people. It really does. Moving on to the next one. This is probably one of the hardest ones. Shields recharge with this next perk. Well, I'm not sure exactly what it's called.
I don't know what it's called.
But pretty much, essentially, your shields just recharge faster. Now, to me, when I heard that perk, I about died, because that, to me, I'm sorry guys, but it's straight up bullshit. They should not have that perk at all. I mean, your shields already recharge fast as it is. You know, if you run around the corner and you sit there for 3 seconds, your shields will recharge.
Throw grenades, keep them on.
You know, yeah, exactly. Be smart. Throw grenades. Chase the guy. You know, you can already shoot them to slow them down anyway. You don't need them to have, you know, shields recharge faster. I mean, to me, it is just really stupid to me. It really is.
Yeah, there have been several times where I've been in a situation where my shields have come up just in the nick of time. and or my shields could have come up just a second sooner, and I've killed someone as I've seen their shields go up. So this is just one of those things where it seems like they're just trying to make it easier for new players.
Yeah, I was watching Waypoint, and you can hear Frank O'Connor talking about this guy's question when he said, "How are you guys changing Halo 4 to where it's going to be different from Call of Duty and kind of take a step back from Reach?" And he said they're just trying to take one good idea and put it into two games, which is Call of Duty and Halo, and just try to make it kind of comfortable for gamers when they come into Halo that play Call of Duty or, I guess, all of those other games, to where they actually can feel the flow and understand what's going on, than rather just come in and go, "Oh my gosh, this game is too hard." Because apparently for a lot of gamers out there that play Call of Duty, Halo is too hard because it does take more than one shot to kill somebody.
Call of Duty, in my opinion, now, admittedly, I don't play a lot of Call of Duty, but it seems like a lot of it is a ambush or surprise.
Yeah, it's the whole 1 second window. You're hiding behind a corner and you want to just pop out the right time, shoot the guy, and then hide again, or just keep going on this big old spree. That's how I've always seen it. But of course, all those gamers that play Halo, they understand Halo's a lot more tactical than that. You have to actually take the time when you're trying to kill somebody, rather than just hurry up, pop that guy. I mean, it takes time. It takes years of actually trying to master that. And now Halo 4 just kind of seems too easy with these perks. Halo's too closely related to Call of Duty with these perks that it just it frustrates me. It really does.
Yeah. That kind of frustrates me too, and the perks were the really big thing. There are other things. I think they make the scoring system a lot like Call of Duty, but I heard that's only one thing that is kind of comforting. Is I've heard you can turn most of the options off, so maybe Infinity Slayer will just be like maybe only these things, or at least I'm hoping that a lot of these things will only be in here. Maybe the vast majority of Halo will not be like that.
But yeah, so pretty much our overall opinion is that the perks, we just think that they need to be taken out. I guess we can work around them. We've already talked about them. You guys can think, whatever you guys think, you guys can put on our comments below. But we honestly think that the perks just need to be taken out of Halo because it changes the gameplay too much. It's different. It's not Halo. It really doesn't feel like Halo to me. The sounds of it. That's why I wish to God that they would actually come out with a beta so we could actually play it. But already from the sounds of it, it's not really making me really excited for Halo 4. I'm kind of afraid to play the game.
Yeah, that pretty much summarizes it. Oh, sorry. I'm a bit congested in my throat, but the things that made older Halo works is that when you did older Halos, you would win a battle for one of three reasons. You played smarter than the person, or you just had more of a knowledge of the game. Like, you understood map flow, understood how to control the maps, where the things are, know-how. In Halo 3, they added equipment, and the way I kind of looked at that was it was kind of like a defensive equivalent to a power weapon. It's kind of like an ace in the hole. But now it's making it now. So in Halo, you saw it in Halo Reach, and it seems like you might be able to do it off of Halo 4. It seems like you can win off your perks, so that your perks can give you a distinct advantage. You're not really beating a guy because you're better than him. You're beating a guy because you may have a better perk that he just doesn't have, or something like that.
It does change the flow of the game. Before, like when somebody would be using a jetpack in Halo Reach, and they'd be able just to jump over your cover and kill you. It wasn't necessarily that they were better. It was just because they had an armor ability that you didn't. So it really does kind of change the flow of the game, and really how it really does feel to kind of win. There's those people that think that they need abilities, they need jetpack to win because they suck without it. And you know what? To me, that's just saying you're not a good player, because you need to be able to beat the person with the exact same amount of stuff that they have. If you want to beat somebody truly on Halo and say, I'm better than that person, you want to be able to have the exact same thing they have and actually try to beat them with it. So with Halo 4 and the perk system and the abilities, it does make it harder to actually say you're legitimately good at Halo, even though you have all of these things to buff up the gameplay. It really just kind of narrows it down to a thin line.
You would win a battle because either you were more skilled than the person. We're reaching our limit on the time limit, so we're going to wrap up this video. Thank you for watching. Please comment below on your opinions, and we are new to commentary, so if you could please, if you have any advice for our commentaries to try to make us better commentators, just leave your comments below. Anything else like to say?
Nope. Just make sure you guys try to leave something down. Tell us what's going on. what you guys think about Halo, and that's about it. Thank you.